Here's what we're going to make today. This is a automatic chicken waterer that uses some little nipples for them to drink from, and it's got a you can make it with just a bucket and you put the nipples in there and fill it up with a hose or another bucket and use it that way. Or if you want it to automatically fill, you put you add this, which is a toilet overflow valve, and then attach it to a garden hose, and then you can hang it from the handle to a tree, or from your rafters of your chicken house or whatever, or you can make a stand to put it in and attach it to the wall. Now if you live in an area where you need it to be heated, I'll show you how to use an aquarium heater, submersible aquarium heater, to keep it from freezing. And the aquarium heater actually comes on at 60 degrees, which is kind of warm. So we also talk about how to make this, which you can put this down inside of the bucket, and then it will actually come on just before freezing and turn on your aquarium heater and keep it from freezing. You could also use, rather than using this, you could use the Acme Thermotrol 9000, which I make in another video, but it's kind of intricate, so I made this simpler one to put out in the barn because it's going to get nasty out there. Okay, let's get started on the project. One other thing I did want to mention is, if you do need the heater in here, heating this is not going to keep this part and the hose all the way back to wherever you're getting your water from freezing. So in my situation, we don't have freezing weather very much of the year. So what I'm going to do is I'll just take this loose and take my hose and put that in a warm place, and then I'll just fill this up with water. It's not going to leak out of here, and I can fill this with water with a bucket or whatever, because filling this, it'll last several days for the chickens. And then when the weather warms back up, I'll put this back on there. You could get a heat tape and put on here and make this work year round. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that. These are the nipples that go in the bottom for them to drink out of, and they are 1/8 inch pipe thread. So you need a 1/8 inch pipe thread tap and a 5/16 drill bit. Now some people suggest that you can actually just drill the hole and then force these down through there. Maybe you could, but I'm going to use a tap to do that. I'm going to put 4 of these in here, and then this is the float to keep it full automatically. You wouldn't have to have this if you want to fill it with a bucket. Then just put the nipples in there and fill it with a bucket or with a hose, and you're good to go. So okay, let's get these put in. I'm going to go ahead and kind of mark where I want them. I'm going to put one there and one right across, and then say, we'll see how many lines we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Divided by 3 would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll put one right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. One right there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So it has it kind of evenly spaced out. One thing I do want to do is, on the bottom of my bucket here, there's some kind of designs printed in there, and there's a little silicone washer here, and I want it to sit on something flat. So this one I'm actually going to move over to here so that it'll be on a flat spot. Now, just to make this easier, I'm going to chuck this tap in my drill, put it on low, I actually think that's going to give me better threads, because if I try to put this in a tap wrench and I'll probably get it not quite straight, and the plastic's so thin it would probably ruin my threads. Okay, so then these we'll just screw down in there. You want to be careful that you don't screw them down too tight, because the thread is just in this plastic and it could certainly strip that out. So I can kind of get them in there by hand. I'm going to take a socket and drop over the top and get it just finger tight. You can kind of look, and when you see the silicone washers compress a little bit, you're down far enough. Alright, that's got all the nipples in there. And now actually, if you didn't want an automatic fill, or you didn't want a heater in this, then this is done. And you can take it just like this, hang it from the bucket handle, and you would have a water that you could fill with a bucket or fill it with a hose. And you can get these, you can get 5 of them for like $2 on eBay. I got, I think, 25 of them for $6, and that included shipping. So you could do that, or you know, I want as much stuff as I can be automatic. So this is a toilet fill valve. It's a Corky. The reason I got this one, there's a Fluid Master one at Home Depot that I've bought for my toilets before, but this one actually comes with the nut on the that goes on the bottom that you connect the hose to. So, well, not like a garden hose, but a 3/8. I'll show you how to hook it up later, but that's why I bought this one, because I needed this nut. So, all right, let's get this installed. And the first one of these that I made the mistake of drilling the hole this size, but you actually need to drill it the size of this washer, the outer part of that washer right there. And so for this one, it's 1 1/8. And I'm going to use this to drill my hole. It's 1 1/8 speed bit. So let me get it loaded up here. I'm going to put it right about here. Alright, that's that. Now I want to pull this is expandable. I want to pull it out to its longest length, I think. Let's see. I guess you turn it that way to lock it. Okay. Then we're going to insert that. And you can see the red rubber washers coming around the edge of it. Now we need this ring right here to go on the outside of it. Alright, so that's got us locked down on the outside, and that's going to form our seal. So on the inside, that's what it's going to look like on the inside. And I think I'm actually a little high, so I can just turn it, push it down a little bit, and then lock it back. Now the other thing we want to do in here is it comes with a little hose, and we want to attach that right here like that, so our water's not just spraying over here on the side. And then we're going to bend it down like this, and I'm going to go get a wire tie, and we're going to tie that to the side. Alright, so I got a wire tie, and you can see I've just kind of tied it to the side there, just so that hose will point straight down. Alright, so we got to be able to get water in here, and I want it to be able to attach to a garden hose. So I've bought a few fittings that help us do that. Now this is one of the fittings that comes with it, and you need this. It comes with the toilet flow valve, and you need this little washer that also comes with it, a little cone washer, and it goes in there like that. Alright, then a few more pieces you're going to need. This is it says it's a 1/2 inch normal pipe thread to a 3/4 FHT. Anyway, it fits a hose. fits a hose on this end right here. So it's 1/2 inch pipe thread to a garden hose, and I got this at Home Depot in the sprinkler section. Okay, and then this came in the plumbing section, and it is a 3/8 inside, 3/8 inch outside diameter to a 1/2 inch normal pipe thread. So this is 1/2 inch pipe thread, just like this one. And then this fits a 3/8 polyethylene tubing. Okay, just like that. So these two, and then you need a coupling to go between them. This also came out of the sprinkler section. All right, and it's a 1/2 inch, just 1/2 inch pipe thread to 1/2 inch pipe thread. All right, so now let's get these parts put together. We're going to take some Teflon tape and put it on our pipe threads. Alright, so on this end right here, the toilet fill valve comes with a cone washer, and it comes with this nut. You're going to put that on there like that. Then take some of your polyethylene tubing and slide it down in there, and slide it in a couple of inches. Tighten that down. Then on this end right here, just push that in like that, and that's it. And so now this will connect to your garden hose. This connects to your toilet fill, and that will fill this with water. Okay? So now if you're using this in an area where it's not too cold, you're good to go, and you're done. Now if you want to also add a heater, the next thing we're going to do is we need to drill a hole so that we can get the cord in there. Alright, so here's my fill. And so I'm going to bring my heater in probably along kind of in the same place. I'm going to drill a hole for the cord right here. I'm going to do it right above this line because when I put my lid on, it's going to come down to about here, and I don't want the cord in the way of my lid. So I'm going to drill this hole about right there. Now I'm just going to take a hacksaw and saw a straight line down to that hole. Just like that. Now this is my heater. I got this on eBay. If you look for submersible aquarium heater, you'll find a million of them. And this it's a 100-watt heater. It was $5 including shipping. I think it came from China, so you gotta be willing to wait a little bit to get it, or buy one, spend a little bit more and get one that's already over in the States. Okay, so this is going to go down in there. So all we got to do is just sort of pry this apart so we can drop that cord down into our hole. And then it's got some suction cups. Well, let me pull that off. Now, I don't know if you've ever used these for an aquarium or not, but they're made out of glass, and you got to be careful that you don't run them dry, or the glass will break. Now, I don't think these suction cups are actually going to stick for very long, but they will keep it up off the bottom a little bit. And I'm going to turn this to the minimal temperature. Okay, and then that's going to go right in the bottom like that. Alright, so now when I plug this in, that heater will come on and should keep my, depending on how cold it gets, where I live, it rarely gets, it'll sometimes get in the 20s. It sometimes gets single digits or even minus numbers, but rarely. And I think this will be plenty even in, you know, like -5 degrees, as long as the wind's not blowing on it. If I've got it inside, we'll probably be just fine. So that'll take care of our heat. That gets the heater in there. Automatic fill. And here's our nipples for the chickens to drink from. Now, this aquarium heater will come on at 60 degrees because it's made for an aquarium. So it is really going to keep this warmer than we want it to. So I've got another video out there that I'm going to put out with this one on making a different thermostat to control this in case you want it to come on just before freezing instead of keeping it at 60 degrees. You could also just plug this in only when you know it's going to get below freezing and just let it run and not worry about it. It's only 100 watts. Alright, so then your lid goes on. Your lid goes on top like that, and your water is finished. Just like that. Now, the only other thing I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to build a frame to go on it, and a frame for it to sit down in, and I'll do that next. Alright, we're building the box, and here are the pieces, all except for the angle straps. I don't have those cut yet. This is going to make up the box, and these are actually 2.5 by 3/4, but you could use a 1x3 or a 1x4 that you get from Home Depot. These are some rough sawn on one side that I did on my sawmill, so that's why they happen to be an odd size. Okay, so our bucket is going to have to fit down in here, and the outside of the bucket is 11.25 inches. So I'm going to make the inside of the box 12 inches. So that means that these pieces are cut to 12 inches long, and these outside pieces have to reach to the ends of each one. So they're actually 13.5, so they can go 3/4 over here and 3/4 over here. And then this stacks on top like this, and then we're going to come back and cut a hole out of the middle. Alright, let me get this nailed up. Alright, now we've got to cut a hole in the center, and we want that hole to be 11.25 inches in diameter. And let's see, half of that's going to be 5.5 plus 1/8 is 5 5/8. Okay, so we're going to set our compass to 5 5/8. We're going to find the center of our little box like this, just doing the diagonals. There we go. We set our compass right here. Oops. Alright, go back. Alright, there we go. We're going to double check, make sure we've got 11.25. Perfect. Okay, now let me get a saw and we'll get this cut out. Alright, we're going to take a jigsaw, and I could drill a hole to start this, or you can just take a jigsaw and kind of lay it like this and start it in. Alright, here we go. cut out. So the next thing we're going to do is get it mounted on the legs. Let's see, we probably want something like that. So we want to get that even. Alright, so we're going to do it 16 inches up. These are actually 24 inches long. It's really arbitrary as to where this goes. Alright, now I want to put a brace across like this. So these are 16 inches long, and I did a 45-degree angle on each end. I'm going to come out 11.5 inches here and put the point of that, and then just whatever it hits back here will be fine. Alright, let me get these put on. I'm going to drill a little pilot hole for this so I don't split the wood out. You just want something just a little bit smaller than your nail. Well, here it is, all put together and installed. The frame screwed to the side of the wall there, and then you can see the water line comes down and over. I've got a Y on the end of a garden hose because I'm actually got two of these going. I have one. I keep my hens locked up separate. This other one's just kind of out in my barn. I don't have the heater hooked up. It's not below freezing. It doesn't look like it's going to be for a while, so I haven't put that part on there yet. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope you get a chance to make one. Thank you for watching.